All right, you guys, this is part two. Let me share this story with you. One time I was so sick, you guys, probably the most sick that I've ever been. I felt like I was not going to make it. I felt like if I didn't get to the ER, I probably wasn't going to be here anymore. And I'm telling you guys, I was so cold, like cold to the bone. You know, like that cold where it's like no matter how many layers you have on, it doesn't help. That's how cold I was. But at the time, I was homeless, living in an SUV with my husband and my 4 kids. And so at that time, we didn't really have money for gas. We didn't have money for food at that time. We didn't have money for medicine. The little gas we had, we made it to the gas station. I had just recorded a video in the park, and I was talking about this cardinal that I saw that reminded me of my grandparents and the spiritual meaning of that. And you can find that on my page, still up. And right after this, I got in the car. I was already sick, but I just started feeling worse and worse. And I just couldn't understand what was going on. I started getting angry because I felt like I wasn't going to be here anymore. And I was angry because I felt like my voice wasn't heard the way I wanted it to. I was angry because I felt like I never reached my potential. I was angry because I felt like I had made some wrong decisions, that I had so much potential and that I didn't get to travel and do the things that I wanted to do. I was angry because I had just had a 5-month-old, and I didn't think I would be there to not just see her grow up, but to see all the rest of my children grow up. So I was angry because I wouldn't share those special moments and long talks that I had with my husband, and to really appreciate the growth that we had together. I was so angry because I felt like I wasn't being heard, that God didn't hear me, that I didn't hear myself. I didn't really know what to do. I got in the car. We made it to that gas station. And I just sat there and I just surrendered. I said, I have expected so many things to happen that haven't happened. I didn't see them at the time. I didn't notice them at the time. But I was just so angry, and I just said, forget it. Whatever happens, happens. I just let go and I surrendered. Seconds later, my husband got a call from his sisters that said, we're going to put you on an Airbnb for a few days. There are some of you that are watching that just need to surrender and just need to let go to the birthing experience. That was a part of my birthing experience, something that I experienced that I'll never forget, that I've learned so much from, and that right now I'm creating something based off of that experience. But some of you are birthing your experience that you're going to share with the world. Okay? So don't get afraid, because through this process, this is what you've been preparing for. This is why you've had to go through certain things. This is why you couldn't be around certain people. This is why some people didn't even understand you. This is why, because your experience was just going to look different. It was going to feel different because of what your purpose is, because of what your mission is, because of what your journey was going to look like and feel like. So you guys, after this, I got into this Airbnb, right? I mustered up the strength to take a bath. And in that bath, I did something that I hadn't done in a long time, which was listen to Christian music. But I listened to the Clark sisters' Miracle. And I started listening to the words that said, I expect a miracle. Because I was expecting even more. I was expecting for my whole situation to turn around, and not just for a few days. So I started listening to I expect a miracle. And after a while, I stopped telling myself like I expect a miracle. I started saying I am the freaking miracle. And I started saying that over and over and over. When I surrendered, when I stopped trying to make things happen, when I noticed that I had done everything that I could do, I surrendered. And that's all some of you have to do, is surrender to your birthing process. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this was a deep, deep experience. And sometimes, sometimes we need to understand that we are the miracle, that we are the change, that we are the vehicle that gets us from one manifestation to the next, that we have what it is that we need already within us. So I said, there's no other choice but up from here. And for some of you, there's no other choice but up from here. So expect that miracle. And as a matter of fact, I just want you to know that it's already here. So one of the things I want to say, you guys, and I'm not even going to look at my notes for this because this means a lot to me. I used to hear this all the time. People used to tell me this all of my life and tell me like why I was so disappointed. And that was because they were saying that I was just expecting too much. I was expecting too much from people. And at this moment in time, because it could change as I evolve, right? But at this moment in time, if I could tell somebody, if somebody asked me, do you feel like it's okay to expect things? I would say yes. And I would say yes because it's okay to expect things. Just don't expect things from others. Expect it from yourself. I got to sit with that for a minute. Because this is healing for me too, you guys, because I had to learn this. And I used to be like, do I just lower my expectations? I mean, this seems like just normal, regular things. I'm not like expecting the world on a platter here. I know I'm going to go through things. I know I'm going to be faced with things. I know things aren't going to go the exact way that I planned it, that it might go similar to that. It might even go better than that. So why do I have to lower my expectations or not have expectations at all? Through my birthing experience, I learned that I was just expecting from the wrong person. And everything that I was expecting from others, I needed to expect from myself. That it wasn't up to anybody else to give me the answers or the way out or to help me out. It was up to myself. And once you do that, you guys, it doesn't mean that other people aren't going to help you along the way. But once you do that, you allow yourself to open up to where things just start coming. People just start helping you out. That's just what I've come to know. So I want to share that with you guys today because I wanted you guys to understand that it's okay to expect love from yourself. It's okay to expect to have a great life. It's okay to expect things to happen. Look, I want to create an affirmation and say, I expect a miracle. I expect great things to happen in my life every day. I expect to be fearless. I expect to be abundant. I expect to be living in freedom every day of my life. I expect things to come to me easily, smoothly, and quickly. If I'm prepared for the quickly. Sometimes we're not even prepared for what it is that we ask for. You guys, you're birthing something. And whatever you're birthing is going to touch generations. Remember that. So don't give up on your birthing experience. And you haven't given up. That's why you're watching this, because you're the fighter. You're the person that doesn't give up. You're the person that keeps going until you can't go anymore. You're the one that gives to everybody else besides yourself, so then you're drained at the end of the day. Because you're wondering why you're not receiving what you're putting out. It's because you're supposed to give it to yourself. You have to birth the love that you want. You have to birth the relationship that you want. You have to start with the relationship and the love of yourself first before you can see it from anybody else or outside of yourself. It manifests from it being within you. It manifests outside of yourself. So when you love yourself first, then the love that you feel from within manifests and projects itself outside of yourself, and you start feeling love all around you. Yes. Yes. You guys, 957 angel number for confirmation. I'm going to put that in the chat, guys. All right, guys, I'm about to do a part 3. I'm almost done. I'm going to do a part 3. Oh, this is good. Oh, my gosh. See you guys.